What's up guys, it's me Hegemony, and I've been playing the Path of Exile 3.0 beta, The Fall of Oriath. Keep in mind this is a preliminary look at the upcoming expansion, and at this point you can only get to Act 7, and then you can only get up to Cruel Lab. So while you can map, you have to grind in a level 55 zone and eventually get to mapping level. So I wanted to fully experience this beta by playing solo self-found. And for the first character that I just made a generic Scion with Spectral Throw and Molten Strike. I wanted to make a hybrid range/melee character so I could experience the fights and how they felt with two different archetypes. In my first playthrough of the expansion, I honestly say the mobs, they're very interesting. The new mob types are awesome. You know, I just love new content in general. So I don't know how biased this is. But the trash mobs felt pretty easy, and the boss fights felt pretty intense. And there's a big contrast in difficulty when you go from a leveling zone to a boss. I think this gap is a bit too harsh and it's not quite tuned, but I enjoy very difficult boss fights. And speaking of the boss fights, I must say the music that's included, the tile set, the transition periods, they're just amazing. You know, they're very, very awesome. And just to be a bit more specific, I feel like the direction of the game is going towards a more Dark Souls type feel where you're fighting these giants. You know, it feels like they're not afraid to make bosses that are huge. The moves are telegraphed very, very well, and for the most part they feel very fair. Another major difference with the boss fights is that they don't just give them a static three or four moves and just have it rinse and repeat. There are very distinct phases, which is something that I really enjoy. I feel like there are a lot of anti-cheese mechanics, you know, some transition periods where the tempo is going to change, the threat becomes greater, and it's just an overall better gaming experience. The sense of progression in the different stages in the fights and a more dynamic gameplay, it just makes the overall leveling process, and it just gets you excited for more shit to come, because you know that this may be the new standard. All in all, I feel like they're really pushing the design space. They're thinking of ways to get people to move instead of face tanking stuff. I'm sure with good gear and twinked out characters you'll be able to face tank a lot of this stuff anyways, but the overall original self-found gameplay is definitely on point. And this doesn't mean that I think the PvE is on balance. I'm just saying that we're headed in a good direction design-wise. And with my blind playthrough, I really enjoyed the Kitava and Arakaali fight. Those are the two most impactful and meaningful ones. Now, there were some legitimate criticisms in chat that people were saying the Kitava fight reminded them of a fight in God of War, and it was just a straight copy. And I went to a YouTube video of the fight that they were talking about. And I honestly say, I mean, there's only so many things that you can do as a designer with a boss that takes up that much space and comes out of the ground where you're just fighting the bust. I felt like it wasn't a direct copy, and I've never played God of War, but I can say that taking stuff from a successful game and taking some inspirations and putting your own spin to it and making it even better is not necessarily a bad thing. However, there are limitations. There are points where it goes too far. And while I was playing in this 3.0 beta, I will say that I definitely got a Dark Souls feel when I was fighting these bosses. The Arakaali fight and the Kitava fight felt like some kind of PoE Dark Souls hybrid. And, you know, two of my favorite games meshed into one game, I mean, I'm all about that. However, there are limitations. I was very disappointed when I went to, I think it was Lower Prison, and I saw what looked to be like a verbatim copy of that caged demon with swords that you were just terrified in with Dark Souls 3. To me, it was a pretty iconic mob in the Souls game, and it just seemed like a straight up copy. So I definitely wish that GGG would push their creative department a bit further, and while it is okay to take inspirations in the overall atmosphere of a game, directly copying a mob, I don't know, that's something else. The new lab system feels very smooth and fluid. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it at all. And I'm just really eager to play the upcoming acts, acts 8, 9, and 10. I don't know if they'll release 9 and 10. I think they plan on saving that for launch, We may get 8 in the future along with Merciless Lab. Being able to play around with some of the new combinations, especially with Scion, now that the Scion got mega buffed. Some disappointments I had with the beta is this time around we don't get access to any of the new items. And in the last beta we did. And now GGG is taking a risk by not implementing a lot of these items because we could potentially find something, you know, very broken about it, and getting nerfs mid-league is not very fun. I think the feedback that GGG got from Xerfe's Youth, Chilla Corruption, and all those things help prevent some stupid broken metas. So this was just a quick, short monologue of my initial thoughts with the 3.0 expansion. I'll continue covering the beta on my YouTube channel going forward. We recently got 12 new support gems, so I'm sure some of them are worth playing around. A lot of them were just fillers and fixes to some balance changes that they had to do with double dipping. But there are some interesting ones that could definitely enhance some underwhelming skills. And now for the exciting part. If you made it this far in the video, you have a chance of winning a beta key. I'm going to give away 2 beta keys that were given to me by Grinding Gear Games and Bex. So how do you enter and how do you win? All you have to do is be one of the first 5 people to type in the comment section below, "Thanks Bex." And with those 5 people, I will random 1 through 5 in chronological order, and I will post the winner on YouTube. Now this video is posted around North American prime time, and I want to give the EU viewers a chance to win too. So the next one I will give tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST. I will edit the description with a new keyword, and it won't be the same keyword. So pay attention if you want to win. Check the YouTube description at 2 p.m. CST. I will take the top 5 winners and random 1 through 5 again based on chronological order. Good luck to everybody. And I wanted to say that I'm currently playing on my second character, a Glacial Cascade Hierophant Mind Over Matter character, and I'll let you guys know how that's going in a different video. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you've missed the PoE streams, you can always check them out on my VODs on twitch.tv/HegemonyTV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.